Ah, Usagi. Salmon skin roll. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for the crossover comic between Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Usagi. And this is going to be probably a pretty short, simple review, because that's kind of what the comic was. I mean, not that it was short, but I mean, it was pretty straightforward and simple and enjoyable. I don't have a whole lot of details to say other than I largely enjoyed it. It's interesting because this is probably the first comic crossover we've had where I haven't had any level of hype because I'm a fan of the other crossover character. Not that I dislike Usagi or anything, but my only familiarity with him was from the TMNT series he was in. And I honestly, as I said when I talked about the news of this being announced, assumed he was a TMNT character because I'm like, I would consider, I guess, a casual plus fan of TMNT. Like, I've seen most of the series and movies, I enjoy the show and the property, but I don't like go into detail in it like I do with Power Rangers or Star Wars or something like that. So, given the fact that they often have a rogues gallery of mutant-like characters that are either allies or villains, I just assumed he was part of their storylines when they did like period storylines and stuff like that. So I was shocked to find out, not shocked, like, oh my god, I can't believe it! But I was like surprised to find out he was his own thing. So I was pretty casual going into this. Probably my only like second casual thing was Godzilla, because I'm only really a fan of the MonsterVerse movies with that. But I at least am more familiar with Godzilla, that piqued my interest. And this really didn't pique my interest outside of just enjoying Power Rangers comic content. But it was an enjoyable little crossover. I think that those of you that are big Usagi fans, or at least a little bit more of a fan than me, I don't know why that accent happened then, but a little bit more of a fan than me might enjoy it more. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but you know, it was just fine. I really enjoyed it for what it was, but it wasn't anything super exciting to me. They obviously kind of drew some parallels between, you know, him being a Ronin and a lone warrior and the Power Rangers, of course, being a team-based thing, and had a little nice sentiment at the end of like, of course he's still walking alone, but he now has friends out there that he knows and he doesn't always have to be alone and there's people to reach out if he needs help, and it was kind of a nice little sentiment. There were some nice interactions between them, you know, there's a little quasi-twist where the reason the Rangers are brought back is by this character to like help, and of course they end up helping actually, but it was like a ruse in general, and they end up having that classic misunderstanding fight at the beginning, and the character that brought them back to seemingly help was the one that was trying to steal this power of the dragon. American Dragon! That just popped in my head all of a sudden. I think the best thing about it was we did get another crossover design. We got new Ranger designs for them, which are great. They're pretty simple and kind of what you'd expect to see, but I really like them a lot. And yet again, if we had Lightning Collection still or anything like that, I would love to see that be released. It's very unfortunate because I'd love to see the designs for these used for figures and the ones for Godzilla and for the other TMNT ones we didn't get. Just so much missed potential for the Lightning Collection, although they probably wouldn't sell as much with casuals, although they are mmpr related. Regardless though, I would have liked to have seen that, and as I just recently talked about when I did my wrap-up review for the Godzilla crossover, the second one, I really like when they do that. I think it's kind of beneficial and it makes it a lot cooler when they do these hybrid designs. It just makes it feel more special and feels like they're taking advantage of crossing the properties over in a creative way. Maybe if they do a follow-up, Usagi will get a Ranger design, who knows, but I liked seeing that. And I also thought it was funny that I think it was Tommy that called out like, if we're getting new Ranger designs, why don't we have a new Megazord? Because they just used Dragon Zord Warrior mode, which was kind of random. But we didn't get a new Megazord design, which was just kind of funny and almost meta humor because every time we've gotten this, like Turtles got Megazords and so did the Godzilla ones. So I am surprised they didn't do something with that. Again, maybe if they're doing a sequel, they're saving something for that, but I thought that was a good bit of fun. The only other thing I wanted to comment on was the art, which was a bit odd. You know, the art for the second Godzilla comic, you know, I wasn't a big fan of. I think it was disappointing considering the art for the first one was really good and I think sold the epicness of that crossover. And the second one was just not that great and oftentimes looked fugly. I don't want to say this looked fugly at all. It very much had a specific style, but I was like in the middle on it. Like sometimes I actually kind of liked it and thought it was endearing and it worked, but other times I thought it was just a bit odd. Mainly, I think it would have worked well as an animated special. Like there was a couple different panels where I thought if this like came to life, I think its style would shine more because there was something I appreciated about it, even if it was a bit odd. I think it shined more with the human characters looking very expressive, and then I think the Ranger designs looked better when we got to the exclusive designs. I don't think this art style did the core designs any favors. And just an absolutely random thing, the human designs for the characters very much reminded me of like the chibi Dragon Ball Daima thing happening. Like, I think it's because I'm like approaching a Dragon Ball kick because, you know, Sparking Zero is about to come out and then Daima is about to come out. And they announced that we're getting Goku's original voice actor back for America. And I'm so happy about that because I was not a fan of the new one for Kid Goku / Gohan at all. Like, no offense to them, but I just love that original Kid Goku voice. It's like iconic. It's like the original Ash, except I never got used to their new voice actor. Anyway, that was a side tangent. I should call this one Dawson's Rambles, and maybe I accidentally left that intro on. We'll see. Where was I going with this? Anyways, guys, that's about it for this one. Overall, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was pretty simple. I think that you'll enjoy it if you like the PR comic crossovers, and you'll probably enjoy it a little more than me if you're a big Usagi fan. I actually did that on accident. Anyways, guys, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.